Hey, I'm Trev. I'm a guy that makes music on the internet. My last video, I did a challenge where I basically made a song in an hour. And my wife and I have been watching this show called Portrait Artist of the Year. It's kind of like the Great British Baking Show, but for painting. But essentially, they are given 4 hours to paint a portrait, and I want to do the same with music. I think that time limitations are very good to the creative process because in my experience, it makes me much more purposeful with the time that I have, and I'm not kind of aimlessly wandering, if you will. So I'm going to make a song in 4 hours, and this is going to be kind of the standard for this series, but I'm going to start my first timer here at 2 hours. Then I'll go work out, have lunch, come back and finish the song in another 2 hours. So I was looking through my voice memos and I came across this idea. I'm not going to play the voice memo because my wife and her friend are having a conversation and I'm sure they would appreciate me leaving that part out. But essentially the riff is it's kind of tricky for me to play. There's a lot of moving around, but I want like a really snappy, tight beat that is going to be layered under it. So let's go ahead and put this up. And before I begin the timer here, just want to give a quick thank you to today's sponsor, me. Recently, I've been releasing preset packs for Logic, and these preset packs are presets that I personally use, as well as presets that I have shaped toward the genres that I make. And they're sort of a good starting point if you want more of the indie alternative sound in Logic. So those are in the description. Feel free to check them out. But let's start the timer and start the song. So the first thing that I'm going to do is just build out my structure. This is one of the best ways to like get out of 8-bar loops is to build horizontally and not build vertically. And I'm just going to do very basic chord shapes that will follow the progression essentially. So let's find the tempo. 150 might be good. I messed up this chord, but that's okay. We'll just fix it. All right, so this will be our intro here. Maybe just start with just a plain guitar intro. All right, and then we'll do a verse, which maybe I'll just kind of stick to the same chord progression. And then on the guitar, I had this interesting idea. I don't know for like a chorus or a pre-chorus. Let me grab the guitar again. But essentially it was... All right, so there's our scratch track. I'd really like to spend time now kind of writing this, so that way I can get some kind of like lyrical melody out of it. So I'm just gonna play along with it and see what ideas just come about. Been a long time since I felt this good. Been a long time since I went down. But I got my head back on track. And lyrically speaking, this feels like a happy song. And I've been feeling very grateful about how normal, I guess, I've been feeling and how I feel with creativity. So naturally. Been a long time since I felt this good. But I thought disconnecting would help me feel like I should. When it all felt clear, I felt the dark disappear and the light shine through. Yeah, the light shine through. But it took All right, I don't have a line for that, but that feels good. So it's been about 20 minutes in so far. I think I can start moving on to the actual production. Obviously, there's going to be things that I change, but this feels good so far. All right, and for drums, I'm going to be using the long-awaited Addictive Drums 2. I mentioned on a channel post a while ago that I started using this and absolutely love it. So it's finally time to feature this in a video. Maybe I'll use this tight kit. This is like my favorite kit. Not even close to tempo. Let's try this one. This one's kind of interesting. No, I want it super tight. I have to stop wasting time on sound selection. It's very, very important, obviously. But I really have to just focus on getting the part down. Maybe something like just open and airy for the verses would be cool. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Then I can layer kind of bigger, washier drum elements behind that, just to kind of fill those empty spaces. I didn't have the metronome on. I want to change out that ride too, just something with a little more bell. It's not what I want. And yeah, this part just completely drop out. Maybe we bring it back up over here. Something like that. All right, so we got our main drum track. Let's switch over to bass. And I think I want a pretty soft but crunchy bass. And I do have a preset in my pack that I think would fit it pretty well. All right, this is the crunchy DI preset. So I'm just gonna loop the main idea until I can find kind of a good bass line that fits really well with these drums. See, the thing is, I don't know if like short notes or holding it out would sound better, because there's a lot of motion going on with the kick, but I could pair it with the kick. That might sound cool. Let's just see what happens. Yeah, let's hold it out. I can do that better. Oh yeah, and the verses, that's where I'll do that short, choppy bum bum. Ooh, following it. That sounds cool. Oh, I forgot. I feel pretty good about that. All right, just a couple of notes are off here. That's okay. Oh, there's another note off. Damn it. I should have looked at this. I was very lazy about double checking my drums. Yeah, there's so many little small mistakes that I should have double checked, but that's okay. Keep moving on. Oh my God, that's so sloppy. Dude, this started off being really fun, but I'm just making a lot of really sloppy mistakes, man. I can hit this better. It'll be cool to have everything just like kind of drop off at this last little part. Then everything in unison hits at the end. All right, so we have an hour 6 left. I feel pretty good so far. Again, a few like small hiccups in the foundation, but now that those are taken care of, we should have a much better time when we move on to other instruments, which that's what I'll do right now. I think maybe now is when I'll move on to guitar. And I'm just now realizing my headphones are not in here. They're in my garage. Let me go get them. I returned. So just checking in. I don't know if I'm really feeling this song as much as I want to right now. I just don't know if the vibe is really being met with my initial intention. So we'll see, I guess. So I think I'm gonna track just the chords first and then move on to like the fancy stuff, just because I want to have a really good bass before I do anything. That bass is way loud. All right, let's try the wow, that was not very good. Playing it with my fingers versus a pick sounds much better, I think. Dude, I can't hear myself. And somebody's mowing. I really need to like sound treat this room. was so close to being good at the end, but my ring hit the guitar. Normally, yeah, little accidents like that, cool. In this regard, I'd like to do better. All right, now I think I want to add just strumming guitars on the left and right for the chorus. And I'm going to layer these with other acoustics as well, but I really, really want just like the sharp strumming of the rubber bridge to come through. Yeah, that sounds a lot fuller for that now. All right, so now I'm gonna do a little switcheroonie here and just beef up a lot of that guitar, something like this. So let's go ahead and layer that in. Right, and now let's do the other one. All right, I think that makes sense for now, for acoustic guitar at least. I don't think I really want a lot of electrics in this. I definitely want like a bunch of weird production synths and stuff like that. But let's actually just listen to what we have real quick. I'm not sure what we can do for guitars right now, to be honest with you. I think I'm kind of hitting a rut with this. So I'm just gonna pause the timer. I'm gonna go let my dogs out and just kind of recoup, I guess. On a separate note, my wife and I have been painting birdhouses, and we do it to like no music, just listening to the sound of nature, and it's been really peaceful with my birdhouse so far. But I really found that finding hobbies outside of music and doing creative things outside of music really helps keep things fresh and really fuels what I do, especially with these videos. Because I don't know if I've ever really openly shared this with you guys. It's not really easy making videos about making songs, because there's a lot of pressure that I feel, especially now with having, as I'm recording this, like 32,000 subscribers, which is absolutely insane. But I have to be really careful, because with my videos, I don't want to be like, oh, this is how you make a song. Like, the whole joy of creating is about my creative process and the joy that I have about the creative process. And I want to help you guys find your creative process. And that's where mentoring really resonates with me in the conversations that I get to have with my students in my mentoring program. But I get a lot of insight from those sessions. But all in all, having something else that you can bring your creative energy into, even if it's a silly little birdhouse here, which, by the way, my wife put one up yesterday, and we had 2 blue jays checking them out. They're really considering it. So hopefully in the next few days, those blue jays do decide to make it their home. Actually, why don't I show you the other ones? All right, so here's the one that my wife did. So that's the one that the blue jays were going in. Here's the other one I did. I'm a big Keith Haring fan. Hopefully they like it. And then my wife did this one yesterday too. Snack Shack, how cute. But yeah, let's wrangle these dogs in. And I think I am recharged enough to give the next 30 minutes pretty much just really focused time, care, and attention. And then we'll take a longer break and then come back later and, of course, give it another 2 hours of attention. But I feel good about the progress of the song so far. I think I'm moving at a pretty comfortable pace. Like I said, I just kind of feel stuck with the guitars right now. But let's get back to it. Let's also let in a little more sunshine. You got your spot, bub? Is that your chair? All right, so we got 31:55 on the clock, and let's get back into it now. All right, so I think I'm gonna work a little on the drum production. Just, there's a lot of space that I don't think that like stringed instruments or synths are gonna fill. I think I gotta get that space from percussive elements. And I'm gonna start, I think, with a shaker. All right, I'm gonna do the same with the tambourine now. Yeah, it feels like there's a lot more motion there now. All right, so that feels pretty good. I'm just gonna freeze the addictive drums track so I can add another addictive drums track. And this is gonna be kind of like my accent. And of course I'm freezing this to offload the RAM and CPU usage. I think I'm gonna use this subliminal kit to back it. And this is in the vintage dry pack. So what does the kick and snare sound like layered in there? That sounds pretty good. But for the chorus, what I had in mind was to layer the kick, snare, and the toms. And then on this drum set, instead of the hi-hat, I want the ride to be going, just to kind of fill some of that space. Just like that. There it is. That's like the perfect amount of punch I was looking for. All right, now I'm hearing like a boo, 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 boo. Exactly that. Not throughout the whole song, but kind of just like, it's there. All right, and I have about 16 minutes left of the first 2 hours. Ooh, that's kind of cool. To me, that little bit brought so much of this production to life, and we're excited again. And I think something I'm gonna do just to make it a little more interesting, I'm gonna duplicate all of this, and I'm gonna essentially separate the low notes and the high notes. So they're bouncing back and forth. So on the left side will be the lower, and the right side will be the higher. So that should sound pretty interesting now. Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna add one more bit of percussion, for now at least. I wanna see what bongos would sound like. It might be too much, especially with the kind of back and forth high toms that we have, but let's just see. Maybe it's something we only do in the chorus, because yeah, that's taken away a lot. It completely changes the vibe too. Because like now I see the direction. I don't know if you guys are familiar with like John Mark Nelson. He has an incredible album called Allegory, but it's a lot of that like 70s West Coast singer-songwriter, Eagles, Fleetwood Mac, but with like a modern take. And adding the bongos takes it from that feeling to like Dirty Heads, and I'm not really going for like a Dirty Heads vibe. It feels good in there. So I'm gonna leave it in the choruses just to give it a little more motion. So in my indie pack, I have this other preset called Layer This Under Bass. And essentially what it is, it's like an added sub to where I can take these in the chorus and just kind of beef them up a little. So we really, really fatten them up. So I'm gonna solo this bass, and this is just the bass on its own. And then with the added layer. Oh, it just adds so much attitude and character. And this is one of those differences you probably won't hear until you have headphones on or you're listening on monitors, but it's a really cool little trick. I have 3 minutes left, so I don't want to do too much, but I am going to start adding a little synth layer. And I want something that's very natural. I'm going to try this Flutterby synth again from that indie preset pack. And I want to kind of match the melody guitar. So 2 hours is up. I am going to take a nice break, get some other work done, go work out, have some lunch, and then I will see you guys here in a bit. All right, so I am back from my workout, back from my little lunch, the second half of the day. Frankincense and myrrh, baby. But I love that I split it up instead of trying to take it on all at 4 hours. I found that the break that I had was really nice. And whenever I have these breaks, like if I go to work out or if I go out somewhere, or even just make a quick cup of coffee, I try not to think about the song at all. Because basically when I come back, I want a totally new perspective. Buster's under the desk. Mainly because that new perspective is going to completely change the second half of the way that I create. And it allows me to see the song in a brand new light. So we got 2 hours loaded up on the timer again in 3, 2, 1. So I like the sound of that, but for this first one, because I do want it to pair with the acoustic stuff, it's just a little too synthy. So maybe I can kind of like suppress it a little. And then this electric piano, I think I want to use that. I just don't really know what I want to do with it yet. Let's just load up Labs and see if there's anything that kind of like jumps out at us. That's kind of cool. Maybe add like a tape Mellify on it. And then I'm gonna just find a new electric piano sound because I think the electric piano sounded good on it. I just need something with a little more depth. That feels good. And then I want to find one more synth just for now, just to layer here and get really some of that good ambiance. I think this needs to be up an octave. Yeah, that's a lot better. And I didn't use it last video, but I want to bring the magic switch back just to see what vibes we get from that. All right, let's add a couple electric guitars. And I'm gonna start with this Mick Gee patch that I have called the Dream Police. Let's just mess around with it and see how it fits in the song. I think that fit pretty well. And then I want to do some kind of high guitar out here. Yeah, something like that. That'd be cool. All right, I need some kind of like guitar solo now. This kind of has like a John Mayer feel to it too. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm just really curious about what a really big fuzz, just panned hard left and right, would sound like in the chorus. That actually didn't sound too bad. I just got to figure out how to play it. Okay, one more time. Just kidding. One more other time. Those guitars just add like a little bit of hairiness that I think it needed. All right, so instrumental wise, that feels pretty good. I think if I'm gonna add anything else, it's not gonna be like a super out there instrument. Like it's gonna be very small stuff. So I wanna move on to vocals because I know that's gonna take me a while. I have an hour 15 left and I'm feeling pretty good. And I forgot my headphones again in the garage. Let me go get them. Hey, bub. Guys, I am feeling leg day pretty bad right now. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot how the vocals go. I should have totally tracked a demo vocal when I had it. Been a long time since I felt this good. Who would have thought disconnecting would help me like it should? I really don't like these lyrics. Oh my God. Let's just try to get through them and maybe I'll fall back in love with them. There's a reason that I wrote it, but it is, oof, I don't like that. Thankfully, I have an hour 10 left. That should give me plenty of time to kind of figure it out. I think there's too many words. Been a long time since I felt this good. A little bit of space and time would help me feel like I should. Guys, I really don't like this. Oh no. All right, I think I'm just gonna like kind of piece this together line by line because it's not clicking. Been a long time since I felt some kind of normal. Had to take a few steps back, break habits and escape the formal. I started plugging in and started listening to the voice inside my head that said, don't look back, don't you ever look back now. That feels good. I completely rewrote the chorus, so maybe this fits better. I don't know yet. I feel it coming through like it's all making sense. I feel a lighter grip, it doesn't feel so tense. So far it's been okay, so I'll live another day. All right, I think I figured it out. And then it all felt so clear. I felt the dark disappear and the light shine through. Yeah, the light shine through. No, I'm not cured. I feel way better about that. So let's go in here now that we have our outline, which should have been done at the start, and really nail these vocals. One thing that I struggle with the most with vocals is I don't feel like I can sell a performance. So I really want to come across like I care about what I'm saying. That was a critique I got before. It's like, you know, the song is good, but I'm not sold on the vocals. And I agree. I think that is a very valid critique. I think I kind of half-ass vocals a lot. I don't feel necessarily 100% comfortable with my voice, but all I can do is just continue to try and get better.
Been a long time since I felt some kind of normal. Had to take a few steps back, break habits and escape the formal. I started plugging in and started listening to the voice in my head that said, no, don't look back, you can never look back now. I started plugging in and started listening.
All right, minimally, I don't really want a lot of vocals on this. I think it stands out kind of just on its own. The elements seem to be working pretty nice together. But I am going to do a bunch of group vocals on the chorus. So I have 43 minutes left. So I feel pretty good. Much better than I did a couple minutes ago. Maybe if I like actually stood on the other side, like all the way over here, this might not go well. I can't see all the way from over here.
I'm better than the day before. I feel it coming through like it's all making sense. I feel a lighter grip, it doesn't feel so tense. So far it's been okay, so I'll live another day.
Wow, guys, this is a really good angle. Was the microphone blocking it the whole time? All right, so I have 32 minutes left and I feel pretty good. I'm not including mixing in this time. This 4 hours is just for creating. I tend to mix kind of quickly. And the best advice I ever got is that if you produce as if mixing was not a concept, the mixing kind of takes care of itself in the end. All right, that feels good there. So I had 19 minutes to spare. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix it and then we'll take a final listen. All right, so let's take a listen now to the whole track. I feel pretty good about it. It's very minimal as far as the production. So I call this another day and I hope you enjoy it.
Been a long time since I felt some kind of normal. Had to take a few steps back, break habits and escape the formal. I started plugging in and started listening to the voice in my head that said, no, don't look back, you can never look back now. And it all felt so clear. I felt the dark disappear and the light shine through, yeah, the light shine through. No, I'm not cured, but I'm better than the day before. I feel it coming through like it's all making sense. I feel a lighter grip, it doesn't feel so tense. So far it's been okay, so I'll live another day. Feel it coming through deep from down inside my soul. You move a little differently through life when you got something special to hold. And then it all felt so clear. I felt the dark disappear and the light shine through, yeah, the light shine through. No, I'm not cured, but I'm better than the day before. I feel it coming through like dark disappear and the light shine through. But I'm not cured. But I'm better than the day before. I feel it coming through like it's all making sense. I feel a lighter grip, it doesn't feel so tense. So far it's been okay, so I'll live another day.
I enjoyed that. It's not my favorite song I think I've ever done. I don't think it's really like, oh, it's a big song, you know? But like, no, it's everything about it just feels right, to me at least. I think 4 hours is kind of like my sweet spot for creating. It's short enough to really focus and get everything done and to not fatigue yourself. But it's also long enough that I felt like I could kind of experiment and I could kind of play around with it. But I hope that you enjoyed watching the... Wait, hold on. Look at this guy. Can't even keep his eyes open, man. But if you guys enjoyed this, I do hope that you consider subscribing. Check out the links in the description, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.